Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create this metallic grungy look. If you follow me on any of my other socials, you know that a bold lip and bold eyes are totally my go-to look. I would wear it every day if I could, even to just run errands. I know, it sounds crazy. And I am so thankful that Sephora and Refinery 29 decided to partner with me on this tutorial to show you guys how to create this look using items that can all be found at your local Sephora. So I have to give you guys a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for your constant love and support, because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be getting any of these opportunities. So a huge thank you goes up to you guys. I love you, and if you're interested and want to see how I create this look, keep on watching. Because the eyeshadow I'm going to be using is going to be so dramatic, I'm going to start off with the eyes first, and I'm going to begin by prepping my eye area with the Clinique Pep Star Eye Cream. Just pop this open, and I'm going to apply it directly from the applicator to my eye and then work it in. And I even like to drag it up to the brow bone. And it's okay if you do too much like I just did, because then you just take your finger and work it in. I'm going to go ahead and correct the inner corner of my eye going this way. You can skip this step if you don't need correction, but I really do love the way that the Intensive Skin Serum Corrector from Bobbi Brown brightens that area. It really makes eyeshadows pop in that inner corner. So I'm just going to apply it right here before I go in with any eyeshadow. So by doing this step first, it's really going to make whatever eyeshadow you place on the inner corner for a highlight pop. Next, I'm going in with Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eyeshadow Primer. I'm only going to use a tiny bit because I'm also going to be using a cream shadow stick on the lash line. And if you use a heavy primer and a shadow stick, it feels like a lot. And this primer is really light. So I'm just going to apply it to the eyelids, mostly from the crease going up. The reason I'm also going to be going in with a dark cream eyeshadow as a base is because it's really going to make the metallic eyeshadow pop. So I'm going to be using Cacao Caviar Stick from Laura Mercier. It's a dark brown, and I'm just going to apply it really close to the lash line. And before I do the other eye, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. I'm doing that so it doesn't have a chance to set. I can still smudge it out really easily. So just blend it up to the crease, no higher than that. And it's okay if it looks messy because you're going to be using an eyeshadow to further blend it out. I'm going to be using shadow from the iArt Caviar color palette from Laura Mercier. And the first color I'm going to be using is this really light transition color right here. I'm going to pick it up on a brush and then just apply it to the crease to really soften out the outer edge of that eyeshadow stick. And then I'm going to go in with the darker brown eyeshadow from that palette and just further deepen up the crease, especially the outer edge. I'm using that same brush. So I like to start with the outer V and then start blending it into the crease. And I'm just gonna grab a clean blending brush and blend this out, and I like to start in the inner corner because that's where I want it to be the softest, so I'm not picking up any of the dark eyeshadow and bringing it over here. I'm starting with the softer, lighter eyeshadow application and then blending it out so it stays pretty dark on the outer V. And now for the really fun part, I'm going to be going in with the metallic eyeshadow. I'm using Kat Von D's Metal Crush eyeshadow in the shade Raw Power, which is a really beautiful cranberry color. These eyeshadows are so great, so pigmented. I mean, they might as well be like a pressed pigment. And I definitely need to use more Kat Von D products. I don't own that many. I don't know why, and I really do love her and her brand and her products. I think they are amazing. So if you guys have any favorite products from the Kat Von D line, make sure you leave them in the comment section below so I can check them out myself. But anyway, back to this eyeshadow. I'm gonna pick it up on a flat shader brush. And before I press it onto the lid, I'm actually gonna give it a spritz of a setting spray. This is Mist and Fix from Make It Forever to give it more of a metallic finish on the lid. So I'm just pressing this onto the lid and feathering it into that darker eyeshadow on the outer V. Just look at how pretty this eyeshadow is. Oh my god, so good. So what I'm gonna do next, because the eyeshadow is looking really sharp right here, I'm gonna take that same clean blending brush, but this time I'm gonna pick up some of that transition shadow and use that to blend out this area that's looking pretty sharp. So right here. You can use a smaller brush also if you like. This one's pretty fluffy. but I like my eyes to be like really, really smoky and blown out. But if you feel more comfortable, definitely grab a smaller brush for this part. You might need to re-intensify the metallic eyeshadow after blending because blending will knock off the eyeshadow. So just pick up some more of that metallic eyeshadow and place it right where you had it. Because I want the eye to look grungy, I'm going to be using an inner corner highlight that is technically a little too dark to be worn in the inner corner, but for a grungy eye, you want that. You want it to be a little darker in this inner corner so that it gives it that worn in grungy effect versus an inner corner highlight that is really light and brightens the eye. So I'm going to be using this shadow right here from the Laura Mercier palette, and I'm just going to apply it to that inner corner. And again, I'm just gonna pick up a clean blending brush and blend out the edges of this eyeshadow. So now I'm just grabbing that caviar stick again and applying it to the lower lash line before I go in with any eyeshadow. I'm doing one eye at a time again to make sure that I can blend it out before it sets. And then I'm basically going to repeat the exact same steps that were in the crease. So I'm going to apply the transition shade, and then I'm going to apply the dark brown. And I'm also going to pick up some more of that eyeshadow that I placed on the inner corner and apply a little more and drag it out this direction. And I'm just going to grab that blending brush and blend out that eyeshadow, and I'll further blend it out when I've applied concealer and powder underneath the eyes as well. And to make this look even grungier, I'm going to be using a dark chocolatey brown eyeliner versus a black, and the birds outside are going nuts. So let's just get on with this eyeliner. So I'm using the Makeup Forever Aqua Excel eyeliner in the shade M60. And I'm also going to drag a little over the top and smudge it out to blend in some lashes that I'm going to be applying. And for the lashes, I decided to chop up my velour silk lashes in the style Flary Godmom for a more natural finish. So they're in a bunch of little pieces. And I'm just going to place them like I would individuals. I'm going to wait for the lashes to dry before I apply mascara. So in the meantime, I'm going to finish the rest of the skin, starting by priming my skin with the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, because my skin is extremely dry right now. And don't worry about the edges of the eyeshadow looking messy right now, because once I start applying foundation and powder, I'm going to clean it up. So up next for foundation, I'm going to be using my Kogan Dough Aqua Foundation. I'm going to apply it first with my fingers and then blend it out with a beauty blender. So as I'm blending out that concealer, I'll take the beauty blender and fix the edges of the eyeshadow. That way it's not a sharp edge, it's just more blended out. And I'm going to be setting everything with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm also going to use that powder to further clean up the eyeshadow in a bit. And then I'm going to take that clean blending brush I was using earlier. I'm going to dip it into the Laura Mercier powder. And I'm going to use that to just clean up this edge now that there's powder there. Birds are still going crazy. For bronzer, I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in Milk Chocolate Soleil, which is the lightest one. And then for a highlight and blush, I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Face Palette. I'm going to be using Champagne Pop to highlight, Rosé Spritz for my blush. or no, lies, I'm gonna be using Amaretto for blush. I just feel like Amaretto is more of a grungy color because it's more towards the brown side, whereas Rosé Spritz was gonna be really pink and shimmery. But this is more the color I was going for. Now I'm just going back to the eyes to finish them off really quick. I'm gonna fill them in pretty minimally. I want them to look really just undone, not too filled in. I'm just using my Anastasia Brow Wiz to fill them in. And of course, I'm gonna set them in place with my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And finally, to complete the eyes, I'm gonna be using my Sephora Lashcraft Length Plus Volume Mascara. I'm gonna even coat the false lashes in the mascara, just sort of at the base. And for the lips, I'm going to be filling them in completely with a lip pencil first. This is Conspiracy by Urban Decay. And then in the center of the lip, I'm gonna be using a metallic lipstick. This is Conspiracy, so the matching color in the lipstick. And I'm just gonna pop that in the center. Of course, if you want more of a matte lip, you can totally ditch the lipstick and wear the lip liner alone. I find that these lip liners wear like a lipstick. They are phenomenal. And with the lip done, that completes this look. Make sure to tag me in any of your recreations because I know I say this all the time, but I really, truly, and genuinely love seeing your recreations. They really brighten up my day. I think it's really awesome that you guys recreate a look that I did. And while you're at it, make sure to use hashtag trending at Sephora and hashtag Rebel Eyes so that Sephora can also check out this look that we created together. So make sure you guys do that. And before I head out, I want to show you guys how I remove my makeup because sadly, whenever I do a tutorial, my day is normally done. It's not like I have somewhere special to go after this. I end up just washing off my makeup. And a lot of you guys ask questions about how I remove it, and I always use a cleansing oil. They're so easy, they take no effort whatsoever, and you don't have to aggressively rub your skin or your eyes. I'm gonna be using the Boscia Makeup Breakup Cool Cleansing Oil to show you guys how I use a cleansing oil. So on a dry face, you just take 1 to 2 pumps and then you just rinse it off with water and you're done. I hope you guys found that hilarious and enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.